step-by-step video tutorial guide on the EID or Early Infant Diagnosis dashboard. I'll be taking you through a step-by-step through the website, which is pre-login, and also the actual data and dashboard, which is post-login. On our home page, we are presented with a menu. On our menu, we have our home page, which we are directed by default, where we can read a little bit more about the dashboard itself. We can also then click on the country information. Contact us should you wish for someone from the EID team to get in contact with you. Please provide your name, email address, the subject of your inquiry, and your message, and submit. Technical information. I will then be returning to the home screen. We are now going to attempt to log in and register to the system. You will see the option here to log in if I provide my email address and password, which we'll get to in just a bit. Assuming you don't have an account just as yet, we will go and we'll create an account by clicking on the create an account icon. You are then redirected to the create an account or the registration page. On our left hand side is the option to register. You'll provide your first name, last name, email address, contact number, the affiliation or program you fall part of, and the country which you are registering from. For the email address, please only use a valid email address, as the system auto-generates the password which is sent to the email address provided. Obviously, if you use a fictitious email address, you won't be able to gain access to the system. I am now going to take you to the login section, where I have previously created an account. I put my username, which is my email address, my password. There's an option here, just a checkbox to remember me. I can also click on forgot password. If I click on forgot password, I will simply enter my email address and click on send. On doing so, an email is generated by the system, which would contain the password. And we'll just click back to our login and let's gain access to the system. We're now on our landing page of the dashboard itself. The main options which are presented to us is the actual dashboard. We can then log into the user profile. I'm just going to click on the user profile, and here you'll be able to reset the password. So you'll provide the current password, which is auto-generated by the system, which might be a little bit more difficult for you to remember, and you'll then be able to configure your own new password. So you'll enter new password and confirm new password and save. Okay, let's just go back to our dashboard. And on our dashboard, we are presented with the following filters. We start with our primary filters, which is obviously year. We can go through and we can select year, we can select month. The rest are populated here. I can now select my ownership, the type, and indicator. Additional filters is province. We have our province map selector, the district, sub-district, and facility. Let's go through and generate a report. For the test, I'm going to deselect all and generate for the year 2014. For the month selector, I will select all. Ownership, I will select all. For my type, I'm going to select early infant diagnosis, and you will notice how dynamically the indicator values change. Let's select our infant 6 weeks PCR positive rate. You'll see just to the right hand side of my selection, there's a little pop-up which explains just a little bit more detail about the indicator which it is we are selecting. Okay, and we select our provinces. I'm going to select Gauteng. and let's do the Northern Cape. I'm going to add one more in here. Let's do KwaZulu-Natal. So you'll see the map by default is grey, which means I haven't selected any provinces. Once selected, they would turn green. The defaults will, the district will by default show all of the districts listed within these provinces. The same for the sub-districts and the same for the facilities. So if we're happy with our selection, we will then click on search. So we're now searching through hundreds and thousands of records of data. This may take some time. Okay, we are presented with the following graphs. I just want to draw your attention to the top right hand side of the screen here. We've got the two tabs, which is our graphical illustration, which is the graphs which we are viewing at the moment. And I can also select source data, which is the tabular format of the data, which I'll go to in a minute. Our first table, this is the infant 6 weeks PCR positive rate. We've got our legends on top, which is Gauteng, KwaZulu-Natal, Northern Cape, and then we have our target value. If I mouse over any of the values, I'm able to view a detailed breakdown with the percentages for that particular period, in this instance for August 2014. We do the same then for our second graph here, which is the cost of PCR testing at 6 weeks. This shows then the relevant cost data and over the month selection. Again, we can mouse over any particular value and it will give us the detailed information or breakdown for that particular selection. Our third graph is then the infant 6 weeks PCR test. Again, similar to the other graphs, we can mouse over any of the values for breakdown or detailed information. Let's just go back to our source data. Now clicking source data, again we're searching through a large amount of records on the database. Here we're able to view our first table, which is the raw data from the pivot table. It gives the actual indicator and then the value for the different months for our year selection, obviously. Just note at this stage or at any point we're able to reset, which will reset all of the filters which have been applied here to default. Alternatively, we can amend our search selection and click on the search button. Table 2, which is the calculated parameters. And then lastly, table 3, which is the actual cost data. Excuse me. So, as the user, by default, we're not able to export any data from the system. Should you wish to export, we'd have to request that premium access from the administrator. So we'll click on the Export Data tab. This will send a request to the administrator saying that you would like the ability or function to export information. This exports in a CSV or Excel dump, which you can then obviously go and work with further offline. So once the administrator receives your request, they will then be able to approve, and you'll be notified via email that that premium access has been granted to you. Lastly, we have contact us and then log out. So I will just attempt to log out, and it returns us to the homepage of the website, again pre-login. And I wanted to thank you for your time. Stay tuned for more exciting applications and tutorials